Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with a Friday Reads. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is the 15th of March. Can't believe it is already halfway through March. It's crazy. It's craziness. So I started this video. I did a whole bunch of yammering on about various things. You guys know me. I like to do this. But I thought I would jump into the books first. And then if you want to stick around to hear, how things are going personal-wise, you can stick around for that afterward. But if you're only here for the books, fantastic. So I haven't done these Friday reads in a long time. I love watching them. And I've been watching a lot of people's videos. I'm watching a lot more BookTube this week at work with my earbud in and watching videos while I'm doing my entry or doing whatever else I need to do, administrative work. And I've been seeing so many books that I want to read, and I'm adding so many books to my TBR, which is exciting and dangerous all at the same time. But yeah, so like I said, let me start off with what I'm currently reading, what I plan to read next, and then I will talk a bit about kind of what's been going on over the last few days. So currently I am still reading A Little Ray of Sunshine by Kristen Higgins. So this is so good. I'm about 60% of the way through it. I'd like to get it done by Saturday. I started this, I think, on Monday. This is a longer book. It's over 500 pages. And I don't have a ton of reading time during the day. I actually had borrowed this on audio from the library, but my mother didn't realize that I borrowed it. She started listening to it, and I'm like, just go ahead. I'm enjoying reading it more because with the audio, I think the natural inclination for me, at least, is to speed it up because you're trying to get, and that's kind of what my mindset has always been with audio. And you hear that a lot from other booktubers, and this is no shade, but it's like, oh, I wanted to read it a bit faster, so I put it on audio. And for me to read it faster by putting it on audio wasn't necessarily to speed the book up, but because now I can read it during my commute, which gives me extra reading time. But I know, and I know that there are a lot of people who can go back and forth between like the ebook and an audiobook, and I just have really been enjoying just slowing down with this one and really savoring it. And I think that's probably going to be my plan for reading going forward for the rest of the year is just, I said this before, I talked about this on Tuesday, but just to slow down and enjoy it and take the books in. And, if I don't like a book, partway I'll DNF it. That's fine too. But this one, so good. So the basic plot of this one, I don't want to give too much away, is about our main character, Harlow, When she was 17 and in college, she got pregnant and decided to give the baby up for adoption. Various reasons, things happening. I'm not going to get into it. She knew the parents. She picked the parents. She went through an adoption agency and they had basically like videos and stuff like that. And she could go through and watch these videos. And she finally clicked with this set of parents and she met with them and talked with them over Skype. And then they eventually met up together. And that's who she picked to basically raise her son. So they were even in the delivery room when she had him. So she had him for like less than a minute and then passed him off. And because it was just too hard for her emotionally. And she struggled with this. Like, don't get me wrong, this wasn't an easy decision. And, you'll read that as you're reading through the book. So we follow from Harlow's perspective. We also follow from Monica's perspective. And Monica is Matthew, that's the son, from, she's the adopted mother. And what has happened is that Matthew is now 18 years old, almost 18 years old. And he has shown up at Harlow's bookshop that she owns in Cape Cod. And he's like, hey, I'm your son. And he orchestrated this whole thing. Like his parents, they go away every year on a vacation and the kids kind of get to pick where to go. He's like, hey, let's go to Cape Cod. Let's go to Cape Cod. Not telling his adoptive parents that he is going to go meet his birth mother. And he doesn't tell Harlow that he's coming out to meet her. So it's all a big surprise. So it's how Monica and Harlow are like dealing with this new reality, right? Like Monica, of course, is afraid that, Harlow's cool. She's younger. She's, blah, blah, blah. Is she going to take her son away from her? Whereas Harlow just wants to get to know her son. She has missed him every day of her life. So there have been scenes in this book that have almost brought me to tears, and I'm not even a parent. And it's just heart-wrenching. You go back and forth in time a lot with this book. If that's not something that you're into, you may not like it. It's not like it's like it says at the top, like, oh, 25 years earlier. It's like, you'll get a scene and like you'll have a chapter in present day, and then you'll have a chapter that took place, like you go through Harlow's getting, like, meeting this boy in college and getting pregnant, to her finding, Monica and Sanjay to raise Matthew. And then, like, the after of the birth, like what happened after she gave him up, and, her coming. It goes through 18 years, basically, back and forth, back and forth. There are a ton of characters in this book. This has been so good. And I am so mad that I've sat on and haven't read a Kristen Higgins in years, because this is why I love her. The banter that she has with the characters, I mean, this is some very serious topics, but there are parts, like I said, that, kind of made me almost cry, but there's also parts in here that are making me laugh. And that's exactly what I want in a book, and it's fabulous. So like I said, I'm hoping to get that one done maybe Friday, tomorrow, because I'm filming this Thursday night. Saturday, maybe, we shall see. So it is still March Mystery Madness, so I do want to still read some mysteries. So I plan to reread a favorite next, after I finish the Kristen Higgins book. I really love this series. I've read, I think, the first 3 or 4, and then I kind of stopped reading them, but now I want to start it again at the beginning and catch back up again. And that is the Noodle Shop series by Vivian Chen. And the first book is Death by Dumpling. And I do have this on my Kindle, so I will be reading it from my Kindle. This is a really fun, cozy mystery series. Takes place in a noodle shop, I think just outside, is it Cincinnati? And it's in this place called Asia Village, where all the stores are run by Asians. And, there's a noodle shop, and then there's a stationery store, and there's like a karaoke bar, and there's, they're absolutely delightful. I love the main characters in this book. That's what I really love about this. Our main character is Lana Lee, and she is kind of spunky and what have you. And in this first book, she comes back home licking her wounds after her heart's been broken. And I think she loses her job too. And her mother's like, okay, you can work here, or whatever the case may be. So she has an older sister named, oh my goodness, I'm completely drawing a blank. Lana and... I cannot remember the sister's name. I'm sorry. I'll put it right here because it's bugging me. But the relationship between Lana and her sister is what I really, really love, because it reminds me of grown-up Claudia and Janine from the Babysitters Club. Me. I love the Babysitters Club series so, so much. And the dynamic between Lana and her sister is so similar to the dynamic between Claudia and Janine. Claudia, the younger sister, just like Lana, is like fun and funky, and she has like different colored hair, and she's kind of like, she's the cool one. And the older sister is very much straight-laced. She's going to law school. Do you know what I mean? But the banter between them, it's like that love-hate relationship, and I think it's delightful. So, of course, a murder happens in this one, and I think the series is up to book number 8 right now, and I really, really love it. So I'm very, very much looking forward to starting this one after the Kristen Higgins novel. So that's really it that I'm reading, you guys. Just a quick week update because, I just talked to you on Tuesday, so I don't really have that much to share with you. Other than I wanted to thank you all so much for all of your comments and suggestions. I've read everything that you guys posted on that video. I may not have been able to actually reply to everybody, but I left hearts, so I did read everything, I assure you. You guys all gave some great suggestions. It really is a lifestyle change, and somebody said, really, I need to start basically cooking from scratch. Pardon me. I am filming this on Thursday night. I think I said that already. And Garrett and I, after we were having dinner, we were talking about dinner for tomorrow, because usually on Fridays we get takeout. And I'm like, I also changed my mindset. It's not I can't eat that. It's an I shouldn't eat that. So we were talking about maybe doing this, and you think it's going to be healthy, and then you look at it and go, oh no, that's so not healthy. So it might end up having to be that if he wants to order a small pizza for dinner or get himself Kentucky Fried Chicken, he can. And I just have to cook. It is what it is. The alternative, the couple of alternatives, the scary alternative is I end up in hospital. And if I'm in hospital, the food is really crappy. The second alternative is much more worse, and I don't want to think about it. So, I am doing this for me, and I have to do it for me. And as easy as it would be to be like, oh, you know what, it's one night, have a slice of pizza. You know, that can quickly snowball. And I'm sure you guys are probably, you know, if you just do the lifestyle change and get used to it, and like somebody else said too, you get surprised after you remove the salt from your diet, how much salt is actually in stuff. I'm actually also leaning more towards a plant-based diet just because I prefer that anyway. And if I'm going to be cooking for myself, I might as well start stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that plant-based is necessarily healthier, because it's not. It can be just jammed with sodium, if not more, than meat-based diets. But I've never been a huge fan of meat. Like, I'll eat it, chicken, a hamburger, you know, whatever. But I much prefer, you know, like vegetarian or meatless, I should say. So yeah, that's what where we are right now. But I've been really good for the last few days, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It's only been like 3 days, but you know, I've taken salads for lunch. I have had sandwiches on whole wheat with vegetables. I have had, lots of fruits. I've been eating apples and grapes and fruit salad. You know, my little treat, my little tiny treat is I take about 10 or 12 goldfish crackers. It's like literally like less than a handful, like into a little baggie to take to work. My little goldfish crackers. And, what else have I been taking for a treat? Oh, these great granola bars that are, like all natural. So like they're like oats and granola with, like pieces of dried fruit and stuff like that. They're so good. And I think the sodium content of them is like 10 milligrams or something. So I've been enjoying those as well, and trying to get my water. That's the other big thing. That's the one that's actually been the bigger struggle for me, surprisingly. I don't realize how little I drink during the day. So I really have to make it more of a priority. My Fitbit buzzes every hour to remind me to get up and move my butt, to get up and do some walking to hit my 250 steps for that hour. But, you know, not that I watch the clock all day, but you kind of look down, like, what time is it? That I should really make a point that at every hour and every half hour to make sure I take a nice sip of water. So at least that way I'm going to hopefully get through it. Night, it's a little bit different when I'm at home. You know, I'm sitting here for some reason, and, you know, I've got my Crystal Light in my glass of water right now, so I should finish this before I go to bed. But, yeah, anyway, guys, I'm rambling on. I appreciate you watching, and, I did say that we were going to do sprints tomorrow on Saturday, and we are. The thing is, I think I said for 12 noon Eastern Standard. My aunt is actually coming over for a visit, which I'm very excited about. So instead of 12, I think I'm going to push them to 2 Eastern Standard Time. I am sorry for my friends in the UK or overseas. It might be a little bit later for you, but I'm not too sure. I think it's only a 4-hour difference right now, because at least to the UK, because of the time change. You guys haven't changed your clocks yet. So if I go 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, so it'll be about 6 o'clock. I think 6, maybe 7. I don't know. I do hope that's okay. I'm sorry. Again, family's visiting, and I really want to see my aunt. I don't see her very often. So I'm excited about that. So like I said, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Today's Thursday. On Saturday, we're going to be doing some sprints for a couple of hours. And yeah, so anyway, guys, that is it. Let me know below, what are you reading right now? What are you reading this weekend? Anything fun? And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.